Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Brian, Mr. Smith Kitchen, as always. And tonight, we're going to do sure, that's what we're doing. We're going to do a one skillet meal. Once again, another fairly quick, easy meal to do. No fuss, no muss, good weeknight meal, but I think it's going to have a lot of flavor. So the original recipe, it was called a Fiesta chicken. I'm not going to alter that name by any means, and I will put the name of the website I got it off of right here because that's only fair. Although I did make some alterations to it. There were some things I didn't have that I know I could go with, some things that I think I'd rather had instead of other. But that being said, I'm pretty much holding true to the recipe. It is a one skillet dish. It's only got a few moving parts, and at most it'll take you about 30-35 minutes to make. Like I said, quick and easy. Yeah, I think we'll enjoy it. That being said, first video, welcome. Hope you get something out of this video. Check out some of my other videos. If you're returning, thank you. It means you got something out of this one of the other videos. Maybe checked out some of my other videos. There's a lot to choose from. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you, and you're welcome. That being said, and welcome. You're welcome. Jeez, oh Pete. That being said, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. That helps get us out in the algorithm. Grows our community. If you are new, we're basically a community of good people doing good things around food. Promoting, being a good neighbor, having a good conversation, keeping it real. You can always comment down below. All we ever ask is to keep the comments civil and respectful. It's okay to disagree, just think before you type, right? So, that being said, why don't we get down to the counter here and we'll get started on this dish. Hold on for me just 1 second. Alright, we're down here at the counter, at the stovetop, and I've got some oil heating up right here. I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my pan, and yes, I have a spinner, but it's okay. I don't mind a spinner. Yeah, personal preference, but I am using cast iron. If you don't have a cast iron, it's fine. You don't absolutely have to have one. It's not like we're putting it in the oven, but I have a whole spiel on cast iron, and if we get a second, we'll talk about it. But anyhow, so to this, I've got about 1.5 pounds of just cut up chicken. I've got it into bite-sized pieces, about 1 inch-ish. Nothing crazy to go with it. And we're going to put this in and start frying it. That's our first ingredient. Right there, get that nice and evened out. Now, you don't want to crowd your skillet. I was going to throw one more chicken breast in here, and I thought, no, all it'll do is overcrowd the skillet. And to this, I am going to add, I've got 1 medium small onion chopped up, not fine diced, but you make it any size you want, right? That's the beauty of cooking. If you want smaller cut, larger cut onion, you sure can. So we're going to put that in there with the chicken, and then we're going to put our spices in. And our spices are as follows: 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, 1.5 teaspoons of dill weed. I know, right? Dill weed kind of threw me, but it sounds interesting. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne. And we're going to throw this in to the mix right there, and then we're just going to let this cook about 3 or 4 minutes till we get, a good brown on the, a good brown on the chicken. The silence threw me off when I moved it and it wasn't frying anymore. So let's go ahead and get this cooked, and then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so we've got our chicken mostly cooked, but not completely. I mean, it's still a little pink on the inside, so it'll be a little spongy if you grab the hold of it. But we don't need it to cook all the way through. What we needed it to do was sear, mingle with the onions, get them a little soft, and then have all the oil that was in there be soaked up by those spices, because those spices are activated by oil, and you want to give them time to get their blood flowing, so to speak. So to this, the original recipe called for 1 medium red pepper and 1 medium green pepper. Well, I didn't have a red pepper. My red peppers that I had out in the garden that were ready, I used already. But I did have 1 golden pepper and which you can see right there, and then 1 green pepper. So I went ahead and cut those up. Once again, rough chopped, big or small as you like. And, oh, sorry. I have a Abby alert, she needs a spoon. Yeah, the chicken and onions, green pepper, and golden pepper. And it smells wonderful. Get that stirred in real quick. And then to this, I'm going to add, once again, the recipe called for a 16-ounce can of fire roasted tomatoes. Instead, I'm going to put some Rotel in. And I'm going to do 16 ounces. These are 8-ounce jars that we make, ourselves. But either way, or you can use a 15-ounce can of roasted red peppers. It's whatever you like. I just know we like the Rotel, and it has fire roasted tomatoes in it. So the only variance is it's got peppers in it also. And then it called for 1 15-ounce can of black beans. I don't keep black beans in stock, mostly because Chris and the kids don't like them. I do. I think they're amazing. So I just went ahead and I got 1 can of, or 1 jar in this case, I put in 1 can of chili beans. If you're going to use, and you want them drained. So if you use the chili beans, go ahead and drain them off. You don't have to rinse them, just drain any liquid off of them first, or at least try to get most of the liquid off of them. Then we are going to add 1 cup of chicken stock, which in this case is a half a jar for me, half-ish jar, about 8 ounces. There we are. Get that in there, get that stirred up. And then the last thing we have to do is, if I remember right, is add 1 cup of rice. Now, here was the other change I made. In the original recipe, it calls for 1 cup of instant brown rice. She had never tested it with any other kind of rice, so she didn't want to tell you to use, you could use any kind of rice, but I'm using 1 cup of basmati rice. It's our favorite rice. And all you have to do is adjust your times. So with the instant rice, the recipe read, which I got it written down here in case I ever want to try it that way. Because we have instant brown rice, but I really wanted to try with basmati rice. Is instead of letting it simmer for 5 minutes, like you would with the instant rice, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this up to a boil. Then I'll turn it down to a low simmer and put a lid on it. All right, now if you're using instant rice, you just let it go for 5 minutes, and then you can take the lid off and let it cool. If you're using a regular rice, a white rice, whether it be basmati rice or whatever, just a regular long grain rice, you're going to let this cook for about 10 to 12 minutes at a simmer with the lid on. Then we're going to take it off the heat for an additional 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get this up to a boil. As soon as it starts boiling, I'm going to turn it down to a low simmer, put my lid on it, and let it go for 12 minutes. Take it off of the oven, or off the stove top, over here somewhere, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. So when I come back, we'll be able to take a look at it and put the last couple things on it and try some. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so we have got our 12 minutes in on the stovetop. Turn the stovetop off. Let it sit off the element for about 5 minutes before I move it over to the hot pad, and then I just let it sit an additional 10 minutes. Timer just went off, so now we can give her a look. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Yeah, rice is kind of a beautiful thing, really. Especially a good rice, and we really like basmati rice. So we'll go ahead and give this a stir up, so that way we can get those juices flowing. Oh yeah, and that rice is cooked. So I'm going to be safe to say with a long grain white rice, basmati rice, whatever rice you choose, a wild rice of any kind or a white rice, basically just follow the directions for the rice. it's not going to hurt anything. So, and I know Basmati in and of itself is, with it being a longer grain white rice, it takes a long time, well, as far as rice goes, to cook. So I think we're in good shape there. So what we'll do is give you guys one more, give you kind of a closer look there. But there we are, and you can see the chili beans and just everything. It all looks good. It looks very festive, right? So the next thing we got to do, last thing we got to do, is the last ingredient calls for a 3/4 cup of cheddar cheese. I don't have any cheddar cheese. I mean, cheddar's good. Chris likes cheddar. I like cheddar. We just don't have any. So, but I do have Colby Jack, and we'll go ahead and get that put on there. And you could also go ahead and put the jalapenos on in advance, and or sour cream dollops or whatever you like to do. You could even take some tortilla chips, crush them up, and put them on top of there. That would be a really neat look to take to the table. But I don't have any tortilla chips, so that's not going to happen. But what I do have is a bowl. So we're going to go ahead and throw this in a bowl. And one thing we do like around this house is cheese. So I will be topping this with cheese and jalapenos. And as you can see, the cheese I put on there is starting to melt already. And you should be able to feed 4 people out of this easily. I should get 6 out of this realistically. Now, as far as things you could serve this on the side with, look at that. Doesn't that look gorgeous? That just looks gorgeous and delightful. Is you could serve this with beans on the side. You could plate it instead of putting it in a bowl. Beans on the side, tortilla chips, tortilla shells, to eat as like a bread with it. Chips and salsa. You could even do a corn salad on the side with this. That would be really good. But I'm just going to have this in a bowl for this evening. We may heat up some corn here real quick before we eat, but I personally just want to try this as is. Not horribly hungry. Been doing a lot of work today. It has been a crazy day. I do want to show you something real quick. So, I don't know why this is. Maybe you know, but I don't know if you can tell or not. That is red on the inside, and it's a jalapeno, right? But it's called a jalapeno gigantica, and it is, the seeds come from the Burpee Seed Company, but they don't sell the seeds to it. You have to buy the plant. I actually bought the plants this year. I'm not even gonna try to grow the seeds, because if they hold the seeds that close to their heart, they probably aren't reproductive. And I know jalapenos turn red. Every jalapeno, every pepper, that has heat eventually turns red. And that's so, and I think I've explained this before, green, they're really spicy when they're green. That's when you get your most heat. And then as they age and they start to lose their spiciness, they turn red to tell the wild world that, hey, don't eat me, I'm red. That means I'm either poisonous or really spicy. But I've never had a jalapeno till now turn red on the inside as they get big. A normal sized one, because well, I don't want to say normal because they're both about the same size, and I don't know if you can see it on that or not, but the veins, I can't remember what they're called now, are white, and that was about the same size jalapeno as this one that has started to turn red. And I've had several like that. We've been canning them. I am going to do a video to show you guys down in the grocery store what all we've processed so far this year, and if it hasn't come out already, by the time you see this video, it should be coming out this weekend. My first canning video of the season, which will be the green pepper cucumber relish. So I've got a few things that we're going to can together this year. Not everything, but a few things. So anyhow, enough chit chat. Let's give this a try. We'll throw some of these jalapenos on here so that way I have that flavor. This bowl is screaming hot. The beauty of letting the rice sit though for 10 minutes off the burner is we don't have to worry about letting it set to melt our face, because it's already sat 10 minutes to settle down, right? But like I said, that bowl is piping hot. there we are with our cheese and jalapenos on it. I don't know if that, you know, made any difference in your mind, but I know it looks good. My kitchen smells great. So let's give it a try. First bite, we'll try it without the jalapeno just so we can taste it. See what flavors are in there before we add the heat to it. That's pretty good. That ain't bad at all. I like the Rotel. You know, I mean, I can imagine with the fire roasted tomatoes it would be just as good, but the Rotel in there is pretty popping. Maybe next time I'll dice up a fresh jalapeno and stick it in there. Give it a little flavor. But yeah, that works. It's got it's not bland. It's really got a Tex-Mex feel to it. Close to a Mexican dish feel to it. It's got a lot of the aspects of a Tex-Mex in it. The Rotel, some of the spices we added. Yeah, wow, that is really good. You have to give this one a try. Sorry about that. Hands down. Let me know if you do. Let me know if you do something different, or if you follow this recipe. Because I don't think you'll be disappointed in this recipe at all. You can either leave a comment down below, or jump on Facebook if you've got Facebook. Leave a comment there. Post pictures if you like. Yeah, but I don't think you'll be disappointed in this at all. And it takes no time. I even took the long way with the basmati rice, and it still didn't take that long. Not at all. Chopping up the peppers doesn't take any time at all. It's 2 peppers and an onion. That's it. You know, and you are ready to rock. And if you prep in advance, you know, I know some people, I try to pre-cut their onions and green peppers pretty much right after they get them. They pick a day to do all that and meal plan. You will save yourself a whole lot of time. You're literally just taking the time to cook the chicken, throw everything in the skillet, put the lid on it, and walk away for a little bit. And then it's done. Hands down, quick, easy dish, full of flavor. Guaranteed your family and friends are gonna just think it's a, you know, a masterpiece for you. So, that being said, I have no idea what we're gonna do tomorrow for dinner. None at all, or dinner, dessert, nothing at all. But I'm sure it'll be amazing. I've got a list of things in my head. I've really been, my brain is stuck on a apple pie cheesecake that I think would be amazing. I got it stuck in my head, the flavors and the look and the taste. I've been researching recipes just to kind of create something, see what all goes into it, how, you know, involved is it, how involved do I want to make it. There are some simple ones, some tough ones, but I want to kind of do my own thing on this. But then my friend Rob had sent me a recipe for it's a King Don cake, which those are snack cakes made by Hostess. That is a representative of that. This cake is, and it looks fantastic. That looks good also. I just don't know. I got a hankering for some cookies also. So there's a million and one things. But anyhow, give this a try. We're talking about a Fiesta chicken cast iron skillet dinner that will knock your socks off and is easy to make tonight. So like I said, let me know if you try this. So until tomorrow for dessert, when I still have no clue what we're gonna have, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them and you love them very much. They may need to hear it. It's gonna make them feel a whole lot better. It may make their entire day good or bad. It's gonna make you feel better to tell them, I guarantee it. And if you whip up some of this real quick and invite them over for dinner, that is gonna be an evening, a conversation, and a good time. So till tomorrow for dinner, or for dessert, I love you. See you then. Talk to you then. All right. Bye.